Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to learn how to draw a simple window surrounded by beautiful flowers. In one of my previous tutorials, we learned how to draw simple roses in a vase. I have seen so many amazing results many of you have shared on Instagram. Your drawings turned out beautifully. Building on those techniques and colors, we will take on this slightly more detailed scene together. Don't worry, it might look a bit complex at first, but it's just as simple as a plants tutorial. For extra help, I've created a detailed downloadable worksheet on my Patreon. It includes line work, step-by-step guidance for this drawing, and tips for smaller elements like roses and glass. If you are new here, I also have many free worksheets available on my website, along with a detailed guide to my favorite art supplies. You will find the link in the description and on the screen. Before we start, let's quickly go over the art supplies you will need. We will use 2 shades of gray, 2 shades of blue, 2 shades of pink, and 2 to 3 shades of green. Since we are going for a pastel-like theme, we don't need too many colors. If you have colored pencils, we will use those too, and the pen could come in handy if you would like to add some lettering for decoration. I've always wanted to learn calligraphy. I think it would be fun to add some decorative touches around the drawing. Recently, I've been taking classes on Skillshare, 2 classes in particular by Kimberly Shag. One is called Introduction to Modern Calligraphy, and the other is Calligraphy and Watercolor Brush Techniques for Colorful Lettering. These classes cover everything from basic to intermediate skills, breaking down each stroke and showing how to write individual letters. I've had a lot of fun learning how to use watercolor for calligraphy, and I'm still practicing. Thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. If you are not familiar with Skillshare, Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives, offering a huge variety of topics, from illustration and graphic design to photography, music, marketing, productivity, and much more. With thousands of classes available, you can start from scratch and steadily build your skills, no matter where you are starting from. Each class is broken down into small, manageable sections, so you can learn at your own pace. I've personally been using Skillshare for quite some time, and I highly recommend it. It's a great way to grow your creativity and learn new skills. The first 500 people to use my link in the description will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Get started today. Before we dive in, let's take a moment to set the right mindset. This drawing doesn't need to be perfect. It's all about enjoying each step and trusting the process. No pressure to finish everything in one go. Just starting is already a win. For this piece, I'm not working from a specific photo, but I did browse through a bunch of images online for inspiration. It's super helpful to check out the lighting, shadows, and patterns of plants beforehand. It sparks ideas and gives a nice foundation. I'm keeping the frame of the window simple, so we can focus on drawing the plants and practicing some basic shading without getting overwhelmed by too many details. For my outline, I've made the pencil marks a bit darker so you can see them on camera, but you should keep yours light. That way, it's easier to tweak little details and erase lines later if needed. At the bottom of the window, I'm adding a planter. Don't worry about making it too detailed. Most of it will be covered by flowers later. Once you are happy with your sketch, gently erase any extra lines so it looks clean. Next, we're going to trace it with a light marker. I'm using a soft yellow for this step, but you can go with a light gray or blue. Any pale color will work since it will fade it in the later stages. Use the corner of your chisel tip marker to trace the lines. Here, a chisel tip is actually easier to control than a brush tip because it's firmer. Don't stress about making the lines perfect or super fine. They're just a guide for when we start coloring. Once you finish the outline, go ahead and erase the pencil marks one more time to make sure everything looks clean. I like to start by sketching a rough silhouette with a pencil, just a loose outline to help me visualize the overall look. Once that's done, you can erase it. You don't need to keep it visible, just hold the outline in your mind as a guide. Now let's sketch out some circles to plan where the flowers will go. We don't need to draw a ton of flowers to create that blooming, lively effect. Instead, group 3 to 5 flowers together in a few key areas to naturally draw the viewer's attention. For the rest, just scatter a few flowers here and there. It will keep the composition balanced and interesting. When you are ready, grab a light color to block in the basic shapes of the flowers. Don't worry about drawing individual petals. Just use bold, loose strokes to create round shapes with uneven, irregular edges. Pretty simple so far, right? Now let's draw some easy leaves. For the leaves, use a corner of your marker to draw simple leaf shapes. Don't stress about making them accurate or uniform. Leaves come in all sorts of angles and shapes. Keeping your strokes loose and imperfect will actually make the leaves look more organic and natural. I hope this process helps you relax and tap into your creativity. Use whatever colors you like. You don't need a ton of different colors. Sometimes too many colors can make things look busy and hard to control. So keep it simple is the way to go. If you are following along with the worksheet I posted on my Patreon, I've broken down the steps for drawing the roses and the leaves in more detail there. Different plants have their own unique growth patterns. But to keep things fun and easy, we can focus on capturing their essence rather than every little detail. Take it one step at a time. You are doing great. Once you have drawn a few leaves around the flower, grab a darker pink color to add more depth and layers to the roses. Use just a couple of curved strokes around the center of each flower. Be careful not to cover the lighter layers underneath. If you completely cover it, the rose will lose its layered look and dimension. Now let's go back to drawing leaves to create the effect of overlapping layers of leaves. switch to a darker green and repeat the same process. This time, focus on adding definition to the leaves, emphasizing a little bit on the natural pattern in how they grow. In some areas, you can use larger strokes to suggest cluster of dense foliage, making the leaves appear layered and full. I know you might be eager to move on to coloring the window, so let's dive in. The window is much simpler than the flowers, which is why I started with the flowers first. Once the flowers look good, it's easier to feel confident and at peace while drawing the rest. For the window, I chose a light blue. It complements the pastel tones of the flowers beautifully, keeping the overall look harmonious. In the bottom left section of the window, I'm adding some subtle reflections. Imagine there are plants or trees near the window, and the glass reflects their shapes. Now comes the essential part, creating strong lighting. Use a medium shade of gray to add shadows. I started with a light gray initially, but found that a medium gray works better for this effect. I recommend choosing a gray that is either neutral or slightly blue-toned, so it matches the subtle blue tint of the window. Notice how I hold my marker differently for this part. I change the angle and use the slanted edge of the marker to draw directional shadows. In this drawing, I've decided the light source is coming from the upper left, so the shadow falls to the opposite side accordingly. You might wonder why is there a shadow on the left. Imagine there are more plants off to the left corner, just outside the frame of our drawing. Some shadows on the left help create a cozy atmosphere and make the composition feel balanced. Otherwise, leaving the left side completely blank might make the drawing feel off balance. Before continuing, feel free to take a break. Grab some water or make yourself a nice cup of tea or coffee. Stretch your legs and arms. When you are ready, come back and we will continue together. Now, using the same gray color, let's add shadows to the window frame. Focus on adding shadows to the right side of each frame. Next, let's deepen the values in this drawing. This green color will be the darkest color we are using here. They might look very dark for now, since everything else is still quite light. To balance things out, let's work more on shading the window. Repeat the earlier steps using darker blue to make the reflections pop. Then use a medium shade of gray to add more shadows to the window frame. For the horizontal frames, add the shadow underneath. For the vertical frames, add the shadow on the right side. Now the window is really coming together. If the overall drawing feels a bit muted, we can brighten things up by adding a vibrant color. Pick a saturated color to add a few strokes around. We don't need to add it everywhere. Just a few spots will add some energy to our drawing. When drawing these shadows, try to avoid making perfectly straight lines. Vary the pressure of your hand. Some areas can be thicker, while others are just a light dab. This creates strokes that add a lot of character to the drawing. Before we dive back into enhancing the shadows, let's highlight the roses a bit. Grab any highlighter pen you have. Different ones have different coverage, so the brightness of the white color will vary as well. For this part, we want a very bright white to make the highlights stand out more. Once you have added those highlights, take a darker gray to enhance some of the shadows on the window to increase the contrast. To give the plants a bit more depth, we can use a color pencil to add some outline to the flowers and the leaves. While not tracing everything, just adding a bit definition here and there. If you don't have color pencils, you can always use a pen as well. In most of my tutorial on drawing plants, I used a pen, and it turned out really well. I was debating whether to use a color pencil or pen for this drawing. They are both great options, but offer different styles. I recommend just go with whatever feels right in this moment for you. Just let your creativity lead the way. If you feel like the flowers got a bit lost behind the leaves, you can always use acrylic pen to bring them back into focus. But that's totally optional. Go with what feels right for your drawing. At the end, I like to add some lettering around the drawing to give it a journal-like feel. I found a few beautiful lines of poetry by Christina Rossetti to write down here. It pushes me to practice my handwriting. I've just started learning cursive and haven't quite gone through all the letters yet. So when I'm writing here, I tend to improvise a lot. Some of the words here are not even legible, but that's totally okay. It's all about the overall look and the decorative vibe. Don't be afraid to experiment and have fun with it. There's no right or wrong way. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I hope you had a great time and enjoyed the process. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. I would love to hear what you liked, what challenged you, or anything you would do differently. If you would like to watch a real-time version of this drawing, it's also available on my Patreon. I will see you in the next video.